And now, your Money Masters, Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes.
Welcome back, folks. This is Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes. We do appreciate you being with us. Market-wise, you get the Dow flat, Nasdaq's up 11, S&P's a flat, gold's down 8, silver's off 61 cents. You got bonds flat, dollars up 11 ticks. You get Tim Geithner. He was out there rapping this morning.
Was he?
Yeah, on the way in, I heard him. Kramer was interviewing him. They have a conference going on in New York.
Yeah.
And
that's the Alpha conference?
Yeah, the
Alpha.
Alpha.
What the heck is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's the Institutional Money Managers Conference, right?
Okay.
To basically, say that, listen, everything's okay. Just give me your money. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We don't,
man.
That's the bottom line.
What was Timmy saying?
Well, it's interesting. What blows my mind is this, okay? And this is, I think, one of our largest problems. The largest problems is that just like Jack Nicholson, and you can't handle it, right?
Yeah, right. Can't handle the truth.
Yeah, it's always one of these deals that, no, listen, they invited me to Europe. You know what I mean? We're gonna.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah.
No.
No.
He was just there a week ago.
September 10th.
Couldn't wait to get back.
It's only the 13th, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, folks, when they keep giving us this garbage, okay, garbage in, garbage out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Anyway, bottom line is that Europe's toasted, folks. If you're going to go to the Amalfi Coast, you better go right now.
Hey, but the DAX is doing nice today.
Yeah.
It's showing some resiliency here. It's backed off just a little bit, but still got another hour and a half worth of trading. So it'll be a real telling sign, I think, for the market and see what we're going to do. I mean, our markets were up and down again all night.
Oh yeah, no,
big time.
And if we look at this DAX, bottom line is that it blew through that August 9th, and there's more bad things to come.
There are. Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be wild watching this thing shake out. Man.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
The gold. If we go take a look at gold out here, let's see what we got. This one's going to get really interesting because we've been in that consolidation. It's been a decent consolidation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But each and every time that we have gone south,
it's been a big way.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic.
You've had wide price spread.
Right.
So folks, if you just look at whether you're looking at candles or bars or what have you, it clearly stands out. You've got wide price spread, and then you had volume back behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's telling you all, and you're still in an ABC down.
Right.
That takes us to the 1758 area.
Right.
So it's just building some energy to move down there.
It's pretty wild.
What we know that's going on in the physical marketplace still is there are a ton more sellers.
Right.
Right. We've got some buyers, but very few. If you take a look at it, it's disproportionately. Sell.
Right.
Whether it's the jewelry side of the business, whether it's the bullion side of the business, and so that's what the physical market. I mean, it's not showing us that necessarily in the futures contracts.
No, I'm with you.
But it is now. You were talking yesterday. I heard as I was driving out of here. I heard you talking about. Each day you're going to take a look at the ETF structure in the GLD, right? So that's a cool thing.
Yes,
right. Tell us what you're doing there.
So what we're going to do, folks, in the 5 o'clock hour is that at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, what ends up happening is that the reports are in as to exactly how many ounces of physical gold the ETF structures own in the world.
Yeah, okay.
So every day.
And it's the largest ETF structure right now.
Yeah, well,
right?
And it's all ETFs. It's not just the GLD, which is really cool.
Really?
It's all of them. It's every ETF in the world.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
nice.
Exactly. So you can actually see the difference. Like what I expect we'll have today, even though gold's down today, because gold went up yesterday, you'll see a little bump up.
Okay.
Because what ends up happening is that they have to cover their positions, meaning it bumped up almost $40 yesterday. Yeah. So you'll expect
that's kind of a neat correlation.
No, I've been doing it for a long time.
Oh,
exactly.
Man,
exactly. Now, want to hear the shocker?
Yeah.
This is a shocker. The ETF structure is actually down. The amount of gold they actually hold is down over 17%.
Yeah.
From May of 2010 to today. That's in the GLD.
Yeah.
Now,
2010 or 2011?
2010.
Really?
Yeah, 2010. 2010 was the May 2010.
Okay.
Was the high
Okay.
of the amount of gold that was actually held.
Wow.
And that's a shocker. No,
But it's worldwide ETF structure.
this is worldwide, okay?
Okay.
But the GLD is the biggest one, like, by far.
Sure.
Because what ends up happening, we've talked before, is that what ends up happening, so check this one out, folks. This is a trick. Shanghai, they have ETFs now on their structure. But the Shanghai ETF buys off the GLD. So their ETFs really are just basically buying the GLD, and over in Shanghai they're getting hit twice on fees. Yeah, they don't even know. But you know, that's all that really is like a mutual fund having a money manager.
For
you
sure.
get hit for the, you know, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's how they're trading it. You know, but what it will do is this, folks, is that the key of looking at that on a fundamental basis, right, is that when you have accelerations down, the amount of physical pressure on the market is absolutely dramatic.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember this specifically from 1999, and that was the 3 Qs. Because what happened there is that no one understood really how the ETFs weren't even around then. In 1999, there were all 5 ETFs.
That's right.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
The SPY was out there since 91 maybe.
Yeah.
And the Qs and the diamonds came in, and then the iShares come out, and they come out with a slew of them.
Right.
But what happens there is that in the Qs at that point, it was Dell, Microsoft, Intel, and Sun Micro, the 4 horsemen.
Okay.
And anytime that those got sold, the Qs had to get sold. Anytime the Qs got sold, so the acceleration down the NASDAQ was dramatic. Now, my take, and this goes both ways, it would be the acceleration down or acceleration up.
Right.
The amount of buying and or selling is skewed in a huge way.
Yeah.
And those, of course, are trades that are non-emotional. They just have to buy and sell them. That's it.
Yeah.
But what it affects, we know what it affects. It affects the physical market a huge way, and the physical market runs the deal, folks. There's no 2 ways about it.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's always going to be, at the end of the night, it's the hot potato.
Yeah.
It's, are the buyers on the other side even we're dumping it? Okay, and it's like, okay, what is the bid? Well, sometimes, folks, the bottom line is that, you know, it's like, okay, the bid's lower. It's
That's
like,
right.
oh, man.
Absolutely.
And it's he who has the cash, folks.
That's right.
That's the bottom line. You're not going to sit there and say, okay, well, that's it. Just think, okay, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, what's cool about that is that, and what's so cool about all the information that's available to you, you know, just what you're talking about here, you know, about being able to take a look at all the ETFs worldwide and try to understand, you know, are they going to have to buy?
That's right.
Or are they going to have to sell? And what's also so cool, folks, is that any of the ETFs that you might play is that you can go, you know, right to the parent company, if you will, iShares, Direction Shares, whoever it is, and you can download a spreadsheet that's going to show you the holdings. You know, don't trust Yahoo because their information is not going to be updated.
Right.
You know, go right to the source, and what you can do is you can just simply download a spreadsheet, and you can take a look at the top. Usually it's the top 7 to 10 holdings that are going to make up more than 50%.
That's right.
And so you really want to be able to pay attention to those 7 to 10 stocks. And you know, just kind of I keep a little checklist, you know, is it making an ABC up, down, consolidation, to give you a real helpful understanding of how to actually play that ETF and what to look for and which stock to go take a look at.
Oh, big time. Like,
you know?
if we just look at last night, so if you look at last night's GLD, the average, the 30-day average, you can look at a couple of different things. The 30-day average is that they've been holding 40,502,000 ounces, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday,
It's a junior Fort Knox there.
yeah, big time. Right now, as of yesterday at 5 o'clock last night, they had 39,928,000. So you can see it's down 600,000.
Yes.
On the average, that's no big deal. You know, and metric ton wise, folks, that's 1,241.92 metric tons. Now,
Interesting. They didn't no change in between September 9th and September 12th.
No, it stays pretty steady.
Yeah.
It stays pretty steady. That's why I'm watching it so closely, because as soon as it does get unsteady, that's when you know, watch out. Because the acceleration down $5, $10, even $20 or $30 really doesn't move it that much.
Right.
A 2 or 3 day move like that is pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
You know,
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be wild just watching this whole baby play out. You know, the what's interesting here is that this bounce out here, right?
Yeah.
It can't get any juice.
It really, it doesn't have conviction.
Yeah.
Certainly one way or another.
Right.
I mean, it is.
Right. That's right.
It really doesn't. It was like last night. The market finishes up. Then all of a sudden, in overnight trading, you've got the Dow futures are down. All the futures are down pretty big. You get up at 6:30. You turn on the television, if you will, or look at your phone, whatever it is. And you've got things that are back up, getting positive.
Right.
You take a look at what's going on worldwide. What's going on with the DAX is getting hit right now. So there's definite uncertainty out there. Look, we know we're in probably one of the worst bear markets. Absolutely. And like Timmy's saying that. They just invited him back over there. That's not a fun flight. He's not flying the Concorde.
No.
I don't care if he's flying first class or not.
No.
That's not a fun 9-hour. You leave here in the evening, you get there in the morning.
Right.
You're pretty much exhausted.
Yeah, you are.
And who wants to do that?
Let's go to Mark in Bedford. Hey, Mark, what's going on?
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
Doing great. You having a good day out there?
Yeah, I was offshore yesterday, and we got a nice tuna, and he got sold, and he's probably in Tokyo. So that fish is not happy about his flight either, and it wasn't on a clock.
He's in Tokyo at a nice sushi restaurant right now, getting eaten.
Loving that.
Eating for breakfast.
Yeah. So, listen, I am looking at trading, because I actually bailed on a lot of physical silver the other day at 42.
Okay.
And at that same time, I said, well, if I'm selling silver physical and I'm going to go make an investment, why don't I buy the ZSL? So I bought that yesterday on my way out to go fishing.
Okay, so let's take a look
think?
at the, well, first we're going to take a look at the SLV. He wants to trade the ZSL, or he's trading the ZSL, folks, as the 200% inverse correlation. Lows 19, the highs 48. This is still in a consolidation. Silver is actually, to me, in better shape than gold right now. Silver took the hit. That consolidation, it looks to me like silver can really get into 40, 46 pretty easy. So I'd be careful, man.
Well, I can close my position because I'm up on it right now.
Yeah, I can tell you, I'm short gold. But I wouldn't be. The setup's not the same.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, though. That it's not, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, there's.
You said, Tom, 3 months ago. You said that, or even when it silver crashed, you said it could be 3 black close and retest the top.
Yeah. Cooking, brother. Have a great one, man.
Tommy.
Have a safe one. It's Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We have the Dow off 66, Nasdaq's off 2, S&P's are off 6. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments and Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Is the fast-moving investment world challenging the way you think about managing risk and return? You don't have to go it alone. Direction's alternative strategy funds feature built-in tactical management to help you find clarity for the path ahead. Direction Funds. I'm with X. To learn more about Directions Alternative Strategy Funds, please visit tfnn.com and click on the Direction Funds banner or call 877-434-9363. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus contains this and other information about Direction Funds. The prospectus should be read carefully before investing. To obtain a prospectus, go to directionfunds.com. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. The use of leverage by a mutual fund increases the risk to the fund. The more a fund invests in leverage instruments, the more leverage will magnify gains or losses on those investments. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We do appreciate you being with us. You know, last night, Steve, okay, so check this out, folks. You know, we talk about the strength in the dollar.
Yes.
Well, what happened, folks, last night in Europe was this. Okay, so picture how these dollar swaps work. So you get all these big banks. They have, of course, large institutions as their business.
Right.
And the large institutions are doing business in all different currencies, different denominations, right?
Yes.
Well, last night, what ended up happening is that the large banks in Europe had to actually pay a premium for what?
For their excess reserves?
No, for U.S. dollars.
Oh, did they really?
So check this out, folks. This is the first time since
kidding.
August of 2008 that what happened is that they didn't have enough dollars to pay. Well, this is what they didn't have. They didn't have enough dollars that if Texas Instrument come in, Intel come in, anything over there, that they had to pay bills in dollars.
Yes, I got it.
They paid up, and they paid up 1% over what you and I could get the dollar for right now.
Wow.
Is that intense? And what that's saying, folks, and the ironic part about this, of course, is that, you know, I'm a dollar bull anyway, but the ironic part about it is that if you go back, you know, I don't care if it's a month, 2 months, 3 months, everyone thinks the dollar's dead.
Oh, no, absolutely.
The biggest mistake people make, I think, about they think that, I mean, how can the dollar went from 121 down to 70? It's like, well, what are you going to go to 3?
Right.
You know, number one. But more important is that, look at all you tigers and tigresses, you're up working, right? That's the biggest aspect of the whole deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because we're a fiat system in itself, okay, you know, is fake anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's not fake is you and I getting up every single morning producing.
Sure, and also what we do with our dollars. And,
yeah,
you know,
right.
You know, absolutely. And you know, when you take a look at it, and look, I think, you know, you always have to have a portfolio that's diversified. You know, between all asset bases. You know, whether it's stocks.
Man, we should just be trading every day. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
But hold some gold or silver.
No, you should be. Listen, I'm diversified, and there's no doubt. So, the game is take the money out of the market.
Absolutely. And you know, look, if the all currencies became worthless, there's not enough gold and silver in the physical marketplace between all the consumers out there paying for their bills. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
There's not going to be anarchy.
Right. Right. No, it's not.
It's just not going to.
It's not, because we're going to run the world.
Yeah. Well, that's what I would love. I would love for us, because it is our world.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what's weird, folks? Think about this for a second. I'm just giving you even I know my own thought process somewhat, and what happens is that you just get to a certain point, and I get fed up at certain times period. Do you know what I mean? Well, hey, I'll give you a great instance. Like you're trying to do something, and all of a sudden it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then all of a sudden you get up one day, I says, that's it, I had it, this is going to go, I don't care what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's punching through.
It is, but you know what happens? There's something in your head that happens, and then it works, right? So 2 days ago, I get up, I just, and you've heard this rap from me before, it's us versus them, but all of a sudden, I'm so hell-bent on it now, it's insane. I says, that's it. No, they're not getting any more money, man, because the bottom line, they just want all our money.
They do.
It's amazing. And when you think about it, why wouldn't, picture this for a second. If you were on the other side, you're in the government, right, and you're no doubt that that's all you're going to do, what would you want? Yeah. You'd want more money.
Yeah. Well, you want more money, more power.
Yeah. And where are you going to get it? You're going to get it off you and me.
That's right.
So it's like, you know what? Let's go. Let's duke it out, man. Oh, man, I'm telling you. Oh, sick. I'm telling you, man.
I love it. Hey, if Mark is still listening, one of the things that, I've been looking at on the silver contract, and I know he was talking about going short, is just simply a short trend line, just simply going from the low of July 1st. And you can see that, it continues to dance along this trend line. Every time it hits it, it bounces, up. And right. Like you were saying, I just see, it looks like silver is just trying to make a move higher. Not overnight, but just trying to make a move higher up into maybe that $46 area, before I'd start letting it loose. Yeah, no,
I like the short gold position, but, it's funny how that works. I mean, it's like, okay, well, I don't, what has got hit dramatically, folks, okay, and this is a huge heads up. You hear a lot about base metals. Well, base metals have got absolutely smoked. If we're talking tin, we're talking zinc. Now, that matters. And it matters in a big way, folks, because when these things move, they move at different time lengths. No doubt about that. Yeah. But big heads up. Hey, listen, you want to know what a heads up is, too? Check this out. Now, I just found this out. Donald Trump just took $176,000 deposit on a unit, a commercial unit. Yeah. He took it in gold.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he?
He took it in gold this morning. Now, what I want to know is that does he have the right to sell it, or is he going to get stuck with it? Which I don't know yet. See if I can get him on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You stay right there, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We're coming right back. We have the Dow 58.
Yeah. Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, more than 40 different mining equities, as well as some of the most popular precious metal ETFs, including the GDX and the SLV. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report that will help you take advantage of investment opportunities at the current historic gold price levels. To order your Gold Report today with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to tfnn.com or call our office directly at 877-518-9190.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Let's see. So over in Europe, you get the CAC rolls down 0.1%. The FTSE's up 0.3. The DAX is up 1%. Having a tough time over there, man.
It is. Still, if we take a look at it, let me pull it up here real quick, my chart here. It's still getting towards the. I think it's going to close towards its highs. I think the DAX is going to push its way, so it's going to push its way up there.
What we know, we're just talking about too, folks, is the SMHs in the United States. Now, what's interesting here is that the SMHs have been the strongest sector. It's going into the swing point. Now watch this. It's having a tough time holding price, but it's got the juice.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really deviant, okay? Because we're already at 6 million, and what you'd like to see is about 18 million. But that could do 18 million real easy going into that $30, and you already hit 30.06. So if you get that, that's a huge signal that yes, something is going to happen to make this baby pop. Not only the SMHs, meaning it'll be the NDX and the S&Ps in general. So it's
and if it does pop, you get this thing around at $32.
Oh, in a second. In a second.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's set up as such that the longer that nothing happens, right, when you get something going, and of course we get option expiration Friday. And what does happen, folks, which is pretty cool, and this is what you want to keep your head, wrapped around this today. Wednesday, in option expiration, right?
Yeah.
That's when I've seen some of the biggest moves ever in the marketplace, ever. I remember in '98, that's when Greenspan and Rubin came on the TV at 3:10 in the afternoon, said we're bringing percentage rates down 2%. Imagine the percentage rate's not even 2% now. They couldn't bring them down 2% now.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Maybe they'll bring them up.
Well, Japan, you can get it down below 0.
Yeah, well, it's funny when you're saying that. Last night I was looking, because we were just talking about the dollar, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at the cash rate last night in Japan simultaneously, right? And so what was happening is this. Cash rate in Japan was 10/100ths of 1.
Yeah, which is amazing.
10/100ths of 1, folks, okay? That was like, that. Now, that's the overnight rate, grant you, okay, but that's pretty insane.
It is.
You know, and so what the difference is, picture the difference is, the U.S. dollar, they were not only paying for it, they had to pay up a full percent.
Yeah. Which is why, you know, folks that have got fixed income investments, okay,
Yes.
you know, and that's what they're looking at, you know, to be able to help, you know, pay their monthly expenses. It's why they've got to be able to expand out.
Yeah,
you know, and
time.
understand the money game and understand, you know, the risk and probability management.
Right.
You know, and really put their money to work. You know, I know people don't want to lose money. I know the fear associated with it, but there is money management principles that people can win that over the, you know.
And you know what you should do, folks? Okay, it's easy for Steve and I to say this, okay, because that's the business we're in, okay, and we do this every day, meaning we're putting our money at risk, but we know probability-wise how it works, okay?
Right.
What I suggest that you do is this. If you're worried that you say, okay, I don't want to basically take care of my own money, what I would do is this. You should do a cash flow analysis of what you have and how long it will last. Because let me tell you something, folks. If you face that, you will do something. You will get off
Absolutely.
your seat.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because that's what makes it happen.
Yeah.
You know, you might think you have such and say, okay, do a cash flow analysis with your bills, okay?
Sure,
and
sure.
those are easy to do, folks. If you don't know how to do one, just go on the internet, you know, pull it up. It'll take you an hour to figure it out. But if you do that, that's a difference, because what you'll find is that most of you are going to run out of money between 3.5 and 4.5 years. And that's everyone, folks. That's not. And so my point is this. If you understand how markets move, you'll never run out of money. Well, you might. We might go broke. But the reality is that I suspect, you know, we're saying you won't, because you'll have a skill going forward.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
will.
No, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference. You know, I mean, and what happens in this business, folks, is that you never pack it in. That's a beautiful thing. You stay right there, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We're coming right back. We have the Dow down 58, NASDAQ's up 2, S&P's are down 4.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Studies show that 10,000 hours is what it takes to achieve outstanding results, unless you use the power of leverage. The power of leverage, folks, is key to attaining outstanding success in your trading and investing. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, and author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter. Let me take your trading to a new level, a whole new level. Let me teach you the secrets that the real money masters use each and every day to produce consistent financial results. On top of that, I'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. You'll overcome hurdles like an Olympian. Here's the beauty. I'm so certain that I'll transform your life. I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Time, folks. Something you'll never get back. The time is now to take action. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and order Mastering Probability. It'll change your life forever. At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you know, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We have the Dow up 43, Dow 43, NASDAQ is up 5, S&P's a flat. Let's see, so you get good old Tim Geithner. He's out here today. So here's his first quote. Tim Geithner said, "There is no chance that the major countries in Europe will let their institutions be at risk in the eyes of the market."
Yeah. You can go back and you can play a bunch of Timmy Geithner's quotes or what have you, and with all of them.
It's amazing, man. It's a redo. There's no doubt about it. It's a redo. You know, it's not a redo, folks. In New York City.
Yeah,
this is a big number, folks, as to people whether people are spending money or want to save money. The guy that he resigned, Wexler, I think his name. Weiner. I know what the name. Weiner. Oh man. Anyway, he got beat last night, and to get beat in New York City, folks, is a big deal. So I think that's strictly about spending money. You know?
Well, it is. No, look, it is about that. You know, one of the things that I talked about on this morning's show, you know, because it was just trying to, you know, help people with regard to visualizing when they get up, you know, and trying to create a character. But then, you know, the question I pose is, you know, why aren't people more wealthy than they want to be?
Right.
And, you know, and one of the things, you know, some of the times, you know, it's just statements that maybe you heard or you were taught as a kid that just got into your mind, like money doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that could be something that holds people back. When you take a look at the general marketplace, okay, the communication that's going on out there, just trying to attack people with wealth,
right?
As if they're the bad guy, okay?
Yeah, I know.
You know, and which you know, so then there's a negative thought process that wealth is bad.
Oh yeah,
it's not. There is so much that you can do with wealth,
right?
You know, whether and it's either directly or indirectly employing people. Simply,
that's right.
Okay, it's the good by contributing to others.
Right.
You know, and there's so much good with wealth. If just simply in the media, and that's what we're going to do here, you know, is really focus and empower people on wealth. There's so much good that can be done that to attack it into, you know, there was a great question. I was watching, you know, flipping through the channels 2 nights ago during the debate.
Yes.
And there was a student that stood up. I don't know if he was from USF or what have you, and he basically, what he posed to the debaters, if you will, was how much of my money do you think you deserve?
Oh yeah,
was a great question,
heavy.
You know, which was just perfectly stated.
Yeah,
because that's really what it is all about.
No, that's that's exactly what it is.
You know, and you shouldn't be looking down on somebody that's got more. In fact, all you got to do, that should be that motivation, like you were talking about. You know, you're going to wake up and you're going to have that motivation and say, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to punch through.
Right.
You know, and that's what really we want to do. You know, but there's the psychological piece of it, as far as, you know, behind why people don't accumulate or have as much wealth as they really would want to.
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
There's things that hold them back. So
and you can get by that, folks.
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line. You know, you can absolutely get by it. And what it is, I think there's a lot of different parts of it, but one of the biggest things is just the bottom line. You know, I had just kick everything out of the way, man. Just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That Nike deal, just do it, is a big deal. And because it can be done. It's not like it can't be done. You know, it's not like it can be done. It can be done, and you can have a blast at it. And then what ends up happening, what I think ends up happening is that you just keep creating things. And I like, you know, today.
No, you do.
So today I'm walking into work, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, folks, we get a lot of different things going, right? And I'm saying, I can't wait to do the next thing. No, seriously, that's how I'm walking in. I say to myself, well, this is funny, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what happens, folks, is that it's what keeps me going. I don't know if it keeps me going, but I enjoy it. So,
I actually think what's going on You know, I always say that the universe puts you in the spot that you're supposed to be for a reason.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And when I take a look at overall what's going on in the world, it's actually great for all of us that are listening in right now, because there should be no more motivation than what's going on in the world with regard to how you've got to empower yourself and not rely on others.
That's right.
And when you take a look at the technology and tools that we have available, the education that we have available, the willingness of people to be able to teach and help learn.
That's right.
That no time in history. You know, if you want to talk about the iPhone or the iPad, or that being the evolution of tech, that's nothing compared to what you can do with your mind and your tools.
That's right.
And learning how to trade. I just think this is the real industry, and that's why I really want folks to be taking a look at what's going on around them, and take a look at what's going on around the world, because you really can just simply empower yourself.
Oh, big time. Big time. And, it's something that...
and that juices us up, because then it's kind of like, what's the next thing? How can we help folks? What's the next thing we can do?
No, that's right.
To get out there and to get more people, and for them to get more people. And it's just like just telling, 3 people about our show. The show, the shows keep growing, and such great people that you've assembled.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And everyone does a great job out here. And we do appreciate you being out here each and every day, growling and prowling with us, folks. Because the bottom line is that we're in a one-world structure now. And
so much so.
A one-world structure for getting the edge is absolutely huge. And what I mean specifically is that there is an edge. There is absolutely an edge, folks, understanding that, hey, listen, this is happening here. Well, I'm going to look at this, and this is how I'm going to trade this actual vehicle.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, flat out, okay, well, everyone knows it. It's not taught anywhere, number one.
No, it's right. That's
right. All these things, they last for 4 or 5. This one here, meaning the one world deal, the one world structure, this is probably going for another 10 years easy before everyone really catches on to it. Oh, okay, hold it. This is this is this, because that seems to be the history, meaning, in the last 30 years.
Yeah, such power, and you just take a look at, even our phones, the devices that we've got now. Just take a look at those phones compared to like the first computer that you bought.
I'm telling you, man.
And if you're using it for much more than a phone, you don't want to just use that thing for a phone or just to listen to music, but when you can take a look at the information that you can manage and control and the knowledge, just listening to this show or one of our other shows that might be archived, as you're driving, as opposed to listening to some, or just plug it in, listen to the archive, the shows that are live.
Big time.
Yeah, it's a real empowering, thing, and there's not much like that out there, which is so cool.
No,
so
there's not.
It's really cool to be, I remember being in the computer industry at its infancy,
right?
And you couldn't wait to get to work,
right?
And I feel the same way now. Yeah. You can't wait to get here and touch one other person at least.
It's called the bleeding edge, folks.
Absolutely.
You stay right there, folks. We have the Dow down 78, Nasdaq's off 2, S&Ps are off 6. We do appreciate you being with us. Let's do a little growling and prowling. We'll be right back, folks.
If you're in the market for a jumbo preferred non-conforming loan anywhere from $417,000 all the way up to $3 million, and you have a FICO of at least 720, then Everbank is your answer. As a direct lender with processing, underwriting, and funding all under one roof, Everbank can offer the most competitive rates, greater efficiency, and shorter closing times. Now is the time to act. Everbank offers fixed terms of 10 and 15 years, as well as adjustable terms of 5, 7, and 10 years, including interest-only options on primary residences. For more information, call Everbank today at 877-471-5970 to talk with a member of their concierge team that will walk you through the variety of loans they offer. That's 877-471-5970, and let them know you heard this offer on TFNN. Everbank, 877-471-5970, 877-471-5970.
Are you Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today. Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
Welcome back, folks. We have the Dow off 60, Nasdaq's flat, S&P's down 3. And folks, don't forget, this coming Wednesday, well, actually, is today Wednesday?
Yeah, so next week.
It's a week from today. A week from today, folks. If you want to understand candlestick charting upside down, our man, Mr. Mike Comey, is going to be doing a workshop at Tiger University from 6:30 to 8. You can get an early bird special. It's only $129. That is right under breaking news at TFNN. You know, market-wise out here, it's going to be a pretty wild market, no doubt about it. You know, it's every day it's been up, down, and around here.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, you know. Europe, folks, okay, what is going to get interesting is that the DAX is making its way back again. So,
you know, and that's where that one world market, that's where helping, you know, from your trading standpoint,
right,
of really paying attention to what's going on. You know, you can go check the currencies, see if there's anything unusual going on there.
That's right.
You know, you can check Asia, see what's happened there, what happened in Australia, China, Shanghai.
Big time.
You know, then come on over to Europe and see what's going on there. And it really helps to give you an idea. Because, you know, our day going up and down, you know, you can go dig into the intraday charts. You know, that's how the market breathes.
Oh,
you know,
big time.
it goes up, it comes, you know, and so you just start looking at the pattern or the stair-step approach, or
that's right.
Is it completed in ABC, you know, how is the retracement? There's so many great tools. And candles. Even candles,
oh, yeah.
You know, they can really tell you so much. That's what's so cool about, you know, the webinar that Mike's going to do.
And you know what's wild is that, you know, I mean, the candles, they came from the rice farmers, you know.
Yeah.
The rice farmers.
Japanese candlesticks,
yeah. Picture this, folks, and if you haven't seen any of those great movies, then, you know, you get that thing wrong and you slice the head off. Those guys are tough guys.
No.
And, of course, don't forget, you know, coming up next, we're going up to Newton, Mass. We got our man, Mr. Basil Chapman. He's going to be coming from 11 to 12. Then we're going to Tucson, Arizona, with Larry Pesavento. He's going to be growling and prowling with you. And then we're going to come back to Tampa. David White's going to be 3 to 4. And then we'll bring it on home from 4 to 6. So it's going to be a good day out here. And the correlations are pretty intense. This dollar correlation's intense because the dollar correlation, folks, is going to, my take, is going to shock people, absolutely shock people. People are going to say, why is the dollar going up? You know, why is it going up? You know what blows my mind, though? Picture this for a second. For as bad as everyone claims everything is, it's like, hold it, man. You know, when I was out in the water even Sunday, I'm looking at all these boats going by. I'm saying, who's paying for all this gas?
Oh, man,
there's money out here, folks.
Oh, absolutely.
There's money. You know, there's like a disconnect. There's absolutely, I mean, it seems a disconnect.
Yeah. What was cool is, you know, and I love our listener base, because this morning we were taking a look at the dollar index, and I had a caller that, identified a Gartley pattern, in the dollar index.
Right.
You know, but I was, giving my take on this big upthrust that we had on the CD move, and say, that's kind of, to me, that's real caution sign, if you will. And right now you just still can't get the traction on the dollar pulling back.
Well, that's the perfect.
You can't get any traction on this thing pulling back.
Folks, Larry Pesavento's book, Trade What You See, okay? He's the ultimate. Those wide price spreads.
Absolutely.
Big thrust. You got to pay attention to them.
No, you do.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
You do. That's why the candle, that candle gives you so much information, especially as you're coming into that D point.
Yeah.
Or as you're pulling back. It's really helpful.
And what we're talking about there, that's the subtlety, folks, underneath this. We can absolutely teach you, how these things go, but you want to pay attention to those subtleties, too, and that's one big subtlety, even though it's coming at you. That's conviction, wide price spread. In my case, I want accelerated volume, too, which you had both on that one.
You did, absolutely.
And that sets up higher price. And if it was coming down like that, like the market has come down,
that's right.
What does that set up?
Yeah, no, actually, and in the correlation too, where you just simply go to the chart and you can see May 4th was the low on the dollar, May 2nd is the high in the markets.
Yes.
So you can see that direct. It doesn't mean that it's going to be correlated every second of every day.
No.
But in general, that correlation is there.
No doubt. Listen, folks, thanks for being here. We really do appreciate it. You stay right there. We got our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, coming up next. Then we're going to Larry, David White, and we'll be back with you this afternoon. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
See you tomorrow, folks.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the opening call, Basil